in my eyes, the broadcaster role in sports is something that really is not talked about as much as it should be. Because these guys, people don't realize the job that they have. Not only do they have to relay what's going on in a sporting event to all the fans watching and listening, but they have to do it with the right amount of professionalism and emotion. And it's not easy to do. It's very hard to master. But those that are the best at it become legends of the game in the eyes of many fans. And one guy I want to talk about today that would be considered a legend by the team that he called plays for is Gerry Sandusky, who had been the play-by-play announcer for the Baltimore Ravens since 2006. But to just say that, I think, is a disservice to what Gerry has done throughout his entire career, starting with the fact that he joined WBAL-TV in 1988, worked his way up to sports director, and along with calling Ravens games, he also called games for Towson University basketball, his alma mater, and coincidentally mine. I didn't realize we went to the same school until I did research a few minutes for this video, and I find that pretty cool. Not only that, he also called the Preakness and did pre-show for Baltimore Orioles games, which, again, really shows just how big of a role he had in the Baltimore sports scene for so long. And I gotta bring this up too. He wrote this book, Forgotten Sundays. It's a coming-of-age tale between a father and a son in the sporting world. And during the time, my local Barnes & Noble was having a signing event, and I got my copy signed by him. And in it he wrote, "To John, a great football fan and Ravens fan, follow your dreams." Something that is really cool, and is a moment that I will never forget. Meeting the guy that was calling the Ravens. Amazing. You know that voice, always hearing at the end of games, and I'm not going to say it just yet. But Gerry meant so much to the Ravens and really to Baltimore sports in general. And now he's calling it. Gerry Sandusky is retiring on April 17th. He announced that yesterday. And things are not going to be the same. But really with Gerry, it's just what he meant to it. Just putting all that emotion to calling Ravens games. And you knew when the Ravens were doing well and when they weren't. And all the moments that he got to capture. Think about it. 2006. In 2006, Jamal Lewis was in his final year as the Ravens starting running back. Brian Billick and that team went 13-3. Got their first ever playoff bye. The next year was not good, and Brian Billick was let go. John Harbaugh was hired in 2008, and the Ravens drafted Joe Flacco. Then 5 years later, they go to the Super Bowl. And then in 2018, they draft a quarterback from Louisville by the name of Lamar Jackson, 32nd overall, and a year later, they best that 2006 season by going 14-2 and getting the number 1 seed. And in 2023, they got to host the AFC Championship game for the first time ever. And he was a part of all of that. 20 seasons he called those games. But again, that's not all that he did. I just mentioned it. But the Ravens moments are what people are going to remember about Gerry the most. Just his ability to call those games. And again, bring the emotion, but also have the professionalism to know when to tone it down and when to tone it up. It's amazing. And the moments that he called, again, the 13-3 season in 2008, Flacco's first year, them getting to the AFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback against their division rival. In 2012, the mile-high miracle that got them to the AFC Championship game, and the late game interception by Kerry Williams that got them to the Super Bowl. The blackout in that Super Bowl. And all of the after effects to that. Then coming back to the playoffs in 2014 after a rough 2013. Lamar Jackson's rookie season. The first game that he had to play when Joe Flacco got hurt and he never relinquished that starting job. Lamar's brilliant 2019, where he was a unanimous MVP. Again, Lamar winning MVP in 2023, getting that number 1 seed. All those moments in between. Haloti Ngata was a rookie in 2006. Haloti Ngata. Ray Lewis had just entered his 11th season. He would play another 6 after that year. All the moments. All those moments. And Gerry was there for all of it. And when you think about all the play-by-play guys that the team identifies with, whether it's Myron Cope of the Pittsburgh Steelers, or in the same state, Maura Reese of the Philadelphia Eagles, Gerry is in that ballpark as well. You know exactly what that voice is. And we got to hear it one final time in 2025. Just think about all those moments. All of them that he got to call. Just hearing that voice right now, it just makes you think Baltimore football for 20 seasons. He was the voice of the Ravens. Now, he's calling it after, I don't know if anybody else could have done a better job than he did. And whoever takes up that role next is going to have big shoes to fill. But, as far as Gerry, the hay is in the barn. Gerry, we loved you. We loved hearing your voice. You did phenomenal. Okay? Your legacy is set in stone. Not only in Baltimore, but in the sporting world as a whole. You have had a wonderful career, and you deserve this retirement. And we are going to miss hearing your voice, but we will never forget the memories. Thank you for everything.